Good day, legends. Welcome back to Platform 21, my 009 build. I've got a baseboard, I've got a controller, I've got some point motors, I've got some switches, I've got some wire, and I have some track. I better start getting on with the build. Well, it's 36 degrees today, so it's too hot in the garage. So I'm commandeering the dining room table. We're going to do some dropper wires. No one tell the wife. Alrighty, there we go. That's all the track wired. With some dropper wires, that was fun. Yeah, now I need to drill some holes and get those dropper wires down and connect it all up. Okay, so all the dropper wires are soldered on and all the track has been fed through the holes into the baseboard. I'm going to test the point motors, make sure that they work with the controller now, and then I'm going to wire up the bus wire, but it's probably as much as I can do right now because I haven't had the CDU delivered, unfortunately, which is what I was hoping to come today, but yeah, damn, I might have to wait till next week. Right, so here we go, quick test, very quick, very messy little wire up for the seat point makers. Oh, well that works, doesn't it? Beautiful. And try one more. Ah. Success! Right guys, I've been banished back to the garage, back to the man cave, back to the whirring of the solar system. But I did get a lot of that done in a few hours. So now I've got my bus wire. I'm just going to run that around, connect these droppers to the bus wire, and probably call it that for the day because then I need a few more bits and pieces. So I don't like, these aren't great to start with. I'm not sure about them really. Maybe I don't know, I need a thicker, I don't know, I couldn't go much bigger than the dropper wires. I thought that was the biggest I could go. But yeah, just crimping them. Maybe I'm doing it completely wrong, I don't know. But they just kind of miss. I think I might just have to solder these if I want to use these little wire clamps. But, I don't know. I'm going to have a think about it. But this is exactly the reason. This is exactly the reason why I wanted to give this a go before I started on my 00. And just doing all those dropper wires there, that is going to be a lot. But it will be worth it. It will be worth it. It's going to take me a few months, I think, but it is going to be worth it. But this is going to be worth it too. This is going to be good. Yeah, these must work because I've seen them. I've seen them on YouTube videos of people using them. I just don't, I mean, look at it. I just don't like it. That one I've had to cut off. And these ones just pulled straight off. I'm going to have to cut that one off too. Anyway, I'm going to sleep on this and I think maybe go back on YouTube and see what other people have had issues with these. And find a resolution for it. Anyway, I'll be back. Good morning. It is the next day. I did sleep on it, and yes, I did some research. And now I know there's definitely a load of you on there that are going, you haven't done this, or this is the problem. Yes, 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 and no. Because guess what I did? I sat there and I researched it on the internet and I Googled it and I went back and I looked at the product that I purchased, which was, oh, I almost dropped them on the floor. That would have been crazy. Which was this little pack that I got off Amazon. Okay, and I searched for and purchased the pack that had the the gauge for the clips for my bus wire, and I did not think to look at the gauge of the crimps for the dropper wires. That's why it doesn't fit. That's why I was struggling. That's why I didn't like them, because I couldn't crimp them on tight enough, because they're too, these are too big. The dropper wires are 22 gauge 20 AWG 22. I'm a complete amateur at this. Don't get me, I'm not sparky stuff, I'm just learning. So gauge 22, and these only went to go to a 20, so they're too big. That's why they weren't crimping properly. That's why I didn't like them. So I've got two options here now. I need to either purchase some, whatever these ones called, for the size of the dropper wire that I have through the baseboard there, or my second option is what I was saying yesterday, was that I might just take the plastic off and then solder them all and then tape them up, something like that. So that is that's what I'm going to have a play with now. And so these are fine. These will be the gauge 14 for my bus wire. So that should work fine. So the idea is all still good, it's all right, and that's the reason. That's why. But it's a good job that I'm not making how-to videos, isn't it? And I openly stated I'm just an amateur at this, and this is just my story. So this is definitely not a how-to guide, guys. I'm not telling you what to do, because I don't even know what I'm doing. We're just having a go. That's all we can do. We're just having a go. So here's a screenshot from Amazon where I bought this little pack from. You can see I was looking at the little clamps to go on the bus wire there, perfectly good enough. And then the little tiny other clamps, yeah, 14 to 12, so none of it was good enough. So I carried on and I used them. I didn't buy any more, I just used them. Now I know this is a tiny layout and I know this is overkill, but of course I've already explained to you, this is just practice for me. I'm just using an excuse to practice a bit of wiring for when I get to the main layout for my double O, which is behind me, which is this. So I didn't want to rip that baseboard apart until I was confident I could do this. So so what I did was just use a bit of common sense in the thing, and I just took the little insert out of the plastic, put the plastic on the wire, and then used a pair of normal pliers to crimp them close instead of the special pliers, because they were oversized, obviously. Got a good fit, and then yeah, anything that was a bit loose, because this wire was a lot smaller, I just dabbed a bit of solder on it to keep it in place. So now I'll end up just putting these all back together, and then we'll use the clamps onto the bus wire, and hopefully this job's a good one. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Yeah, we'll go from there. Well, these did exactly as they said on the tin. Folded straight round, little click as you click them into place so you know they're secure, and then all my dropper wires just plug straight into them. So that's worked brilliantly. I've tried to wrap them all up together. I read online that that's good for the electrical conductivity, if that's the correct word. Please don't quote me on that. Yeah, so I'll run that wire around the outside of the board. I'll get some of those cable ties and tidies, blah 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 blah, nail them into place, and just keep it nice and tidy. The controller's going to go on this corner of the board, so we've got enough wire to feed that up through and have enough play with that. So that's that for now. I need to, my next wiring part will be wiring those point motors into place. So yeah, I'll tidy this up and that'll be next. Right, that's the bus wire all clipped into place around the board. I'm just going to, so I've got a point motor to go in here and a point motor to go in here. So I'll put those on next with the CDU, which I suppose will be somewhere located closer to the controller, which is going to go through here. So I'll get that all up and ready and move on to that next. Right, we are a couple of days later, and I probably should have gone back and watched the video to see where I was up to. But this is where I am now. So the CDU's finally arrived. This little beauty of Amazon. Big unit actually, but apparently this is going to do the job for absolutely anything, up to 4 point motors. But I've got, hey, the director is supposed to be behind the camera, not in front of it. What do you mean this is absolute garbage? Off of eBay, sorry. So off of eBay. It came with this little tiny like points, not circuit board, just panel. So I think that's quite cool. I'm going to install that in the corner with I'll put my switches on there. Whilst we were waiting, and I didn't film, I soldered some wires onto the seat point motors with terminal blocks, which I saw, I can't remember who did it actually, but it was a really good idea. I saw it on YouTube. So I'm going to install those, attach that to the frame on the inside, so that I can then make it easier for me to be able to connect it all up. Theoretically, that's supposed to how it's supposed to work. What else did I do? Oh yeah, I'll show you this. So I also put the little underlay, little tiny foam underlay strips, which so they're on there as well underneath the track. Tracks all nailed down and solid and ready for point motors to be installed. So we'll have a go at that now, shall we? Alrighty, so we have some point motors attached to the board through the little holes in this little eyelets into the points. So that's that one step done. Fingers crossed this is going to work. I'm a bit nervous. A little bit nervous. I think we're all wired up. Track work's all done. Just wired up the points, and I'm going to try them now for the first time. So I wired them all into this little switchboard. Well, it's not a switchboard; it's just a little plate that came with the CDU. But it's quite cool. It's got like little point things on it. So wired them up to that. Just got to plug the power in and try it for the first time. So I'll bring the camera over here and we'll give it a go. Let's have a look. Managed to turn the light off while I was doing some soldering there, so I'm sorry if that looks a bit crap, but Okay, so I think, so I've plugged this in, I've wired up the accessories, track and the accessories. I think I've done all the wiring up to this point. That's in the off position, and that's the point there. Oh. Not a good start. Not good at all. What about this one? Crap. Well, that doesn't work. And guess what? I have absolutely no idea why. I've done exactly what it said on the tin. I don't know why that doesn't work. That's annoying. That is annoying. Alright. Back to the drawing board. I think they're working now. I think. I just tried it. So I've just left it. I've left it on for a little while, sitting there scratching my head. I just tried it, and they both worked. Doesn't mean they're going to work again, but we'll give it a go, shall we? So, yeah, stay. So they're both in the off position again. So A should be this one. Down. Yeah. So that was good. So I've pushed that down. That's closed the loop. That's the off position. So this side in here is currently open. So if I go down on this one, it should close the loop, right? Theoretically. No. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe the CDU needs a big charge or something. Talk amongst yourselves. Well, how long does it take to charge? Should we try it now? No? Yes! And this one? Yes! They're working. So that must be the answer, right? Am I right? The CDU needs to charge for a while. You can't just flick and flick and flick them, right? And is that right? Yes, works. Happy, 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 happy. That's awesome. That's awesome. So I've got to trim these little bad boys down. And there we go. Wired up. I also put a little bit of grass on here as well because I was bored. So that little sign in there. Painted some sleepers and put a little bit of grass on there. Yeah. All right. I think that's the layout wired up. So the points seem to work. Let's try that again, shall we? Oh, beauty. I think it's only one at a time. Oh no. Points seem to work. I don't know. I've got to figure that out. But like, if you know the answer, comment so that I know, because I need to learn. Unless my wiring's dodgy, but look back in slow mo and see what you can see. All right, so I'm gonna leave it to warm up a bit, screw that into place, and I think that's it for the wiring and probably this episode. Because I can't try the track yet because I haven't got a locomotive to put on it yet. I'll do that next. I'll be right back.